This is I Buddy Landell, and you're about to listen to Booking the Territory, the unprofessional wrestling podcast, so stop working yourself into a shoot, you numbnuts. This show is strictly for entertainment purposes only. Don't be a dumb ass and get offended by anything on this show. And if you do get offended, that's a you problem. Before I throw it to the fellas for another banger of an episode, shout out to all the BTT patrons, including the largest Patreon contributors of the show: Disrespectfully Classy, Mark E. Blassie, Mike Childry, Joe Ice, Good Old Justin, and Mike H. Now enjoy this Outlaw Mud Show podcast. Remember, if it don't snow, it don't go. And be blessed and be a blessing, pal.
Hi, everybody. This is Jim Cornette, pro wrestling legend, and you're listening to the Book in the Territory Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast.
This is the artist formerly known as Daryl Van Horn, James Mitchell, the Sinister Minister, and I'm here to let you know I would rather slam my cock in a car door than to miss the dulcet tones of Hard Body Harper, my illegitimate son, on Booking the Territory podcast.
Woo, Messi, this is professional wrestler Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man. Tell my people, my brothers and sisters, don't you dare miss Booking the Territory. Oh, yeah.
This is a one-man gang. You're listening to Booking the Territory Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to this week's episode of Booking the Territory, the unprofessional wrestling podcast, where tonight we are covering WCW Saturday Night on TBS from October the 9th, 1993. If you are listening to this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button on the video. And lastly, type multiple comments or a comment or two with what you liked or didn't like about the episode. It helps the channel grow. That includes you, Matt Wilson, because you love posting comments, and we love your comments as well, as you make multiple passes through the episode every single week, and you love your Randy stories as well. I am sitting here with me and Mike Crockett, and Harper is supposed to be joining us shortly. Matter of fact, he did message me not even 30 minutes ago. Hey, I'll be ready at this time, and he's currently 20 minutes late, but he's probably taking a dump. You know what Harper does. The Dream Team will be back together again, though. Harper, that is, in a minute when he joins Crockett and I. On that note, let me welcome in the Jimmy Jam Garvin of BTT, Mr. Yeah, Mike Crockett. How are you, sir?
You're stealing my shit. Yeah. Back for some much needed me time, Mike.
Jesus Christ.
Holy Toledo. What a friggin' winter.
He just said, okay, we're recording this mid-April. What the date that you sent me a snow pile northeast? What date was that? That was just a couple days ago. You had a ton of snow in the front of your house.
Yeah, April 12th. There's probably like at least like 6 to 8 inches of snow on April 12th. I thought we were through with this shit, Mike.
And I sent you a message.
Terrible.
It was 90 here the day after you sent me that.
It was just the exclamation point on the whole beginning of this year. It was, my God.
Yeah,
out there shoveling in the springtime.
You don't have a snowblower?
I want to move. What's that?
You don't have a snowblower?
No, we just moved, and we have a lot more. We have a lot more driveway to cover these days. I'm probably gonna need to get one for next winter. I was hoping I could skate by without one this winter, and I made it happen. But holy fuck, dude.
Yeah. We don't shovel driveways around here usually. Even when we get snow, I mean, we don't even own snow shovels. They just put it to you like that.
Yeah, you just stay inside and cower in the corner until it melts.
Yeah, I mean, there are times when I've had to get out there a couple winters and like I got a big, huge like broom. I don't know how to describe it, and maybe like
push broom kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, with like where it's like maybe 2 feet of the broom is the size of it. I've had to do that a time or two, but I mean, Yeah, we don't own snow shovels. I mean, one time Malonis was asking me about that. It was like we had got like a dumping of snow a few years back, and he's like, "Do you even own a snow shovel?" I go, "No, no, there's no need." So yeah, I mean, we definitely don't need it here, even though we get it. It's just not extremely often. Definitely not in April. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I'm coming down there. You got a room for me? Well, you're a full house out down there, don't you?
Oh God, my house is full these days. Between me, wife, mother-in-law, my brother-in-law, 2 kids, grown teenagers at this point. It's we are jam-packed to the gills. That's for damn sure.
All right, we'll see what's going on at Doc's house.
He's got everything the same as me, just not a brother-in-law, and his kids are smaller. He's actually got kids. He doesn't even have teenagers yet, so he's a little bit different scenario. He does not know the pain of a teenage daughter yet.
Man, I'm not looking forward to that.
Oh, Jesus, you trust me, man.
I'll like another 10 years till that happens.
Oh man, when it hits like a Mack truck too. It's stages. They go through stages, and then when they start arguing with their mother, and you have to be mediator, and you're like, how did I get roped into this referee battle? You have a lot of referee experience. It might work out for you well, but a little different. Referee
comes in handy.
Yeah, maybe. Oh boy. But anyway, what's going on with the WPAN these days? A new episode coming out soon?
Dude, no.
That's nice.
I talked to Brian Malonis fairly infrequently these days.
I figured that.
We used to be great pals, but things you stop recording a podcast and the communication ceases.
Well, y'all are both busy. I mean, y'all, both of y'all have kids and raising families, and it's, the older you get, it gets more difficult, especially when the kids are going through that growing up phase, as they call it.
Yeah, and I've stopped and started. I've had so many ideas in my head about how to come back regularly, or at least record something, and it's just it's never quite connected and happened. So I always, that's why I always, every once in a while you'll ask me and I'll say, oh, it's coming, this is this and that, but it never seems to come together. But hopefully someday, and maybe someday on the BTT feed. What do you think of that?
I'm still open to it. Made that offer many years ago, over 5 years ago now, and still open to it for sure.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of a long time ago, you started this podcast a long time ago, and coming up, are we in May at this point when this is dropping?
That's a good question. I think we are. I think by the time this hits, we'll be looking at about May 1st, end of April. So yeah, Thursday, May 1st, I believe would be when this would drop on all feeds. It drops a day early on YouTube, but yeah, go ahead and plug what you're about to mention.
Happy birthday month, Mike. Happy birthday month.
Yeah, birthday month, that thing.
Come on.
Yeah, birthday month. I will say this, during the entire month of May, because the first episode was recorded at the very end of May 2015. The entire month of May, I'm glad you mentioned it, I will go ahead and put the Patreon membership for the annual membership on sale. That way, if you do join, you will essentially get 2 months for free if you go annual. So now would be a good time to jump into Patreon at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. You'll get 2 months for free when you go annual. So that's all of the clashes, all of the pay-per-views. We got Halloween Havoc coming up, plus the JV Goon Squad shows, the World Class shows with Lance and myself. Patreon, tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Yes, on sale for the entire birthday month of May.
Nice. And another thing that we're doing for the birthday month, or I convinced you to do, I posted it on Facebook a number of weeks ago at this point, and people thought I was kidding. It was a joke of some sort. But the BTT voicemail line is open, ladies and gentlemen. The number 330 822-4288. That is 330-822-4BTT. And you can call and leave your birthday greetings for Mike, Doc, and Harper. And they will listen to them on a future podcast of some sort. And just leave it. But Mike made sure to tell me to share with you guys less than a minute. If it's more than a minute, it goes in the garbage, right?
Let's set some ground rules here now that you're bringing this up and you gave out the number. So the first thing is, I was telling this to Crockett because, our wonderful degenerate audience that we love and, are so great. I know our listeners well as they know us, and they will go into business for themselves cutting promos. So the intent of this is to wish us well in our 10th year as we hit our 10-year anniversary. So this isn't about getting yourself over as much as it's about, sending us some kind words.
Kissing your ass.
Yeah, that thing. So, if your voicemail has nothing to do with that, I don't think it'll make air. The other part, it might not just, I don't know if we're going to listen to every single one of them on the show. I had envisioned we would essentially tack them on to an end of a show where we would have them where you could, hear your voicemail on the show. It'll be a segment in itself. Now we'll have to see how many it is. Cause what if you get 60 of them and they're at a minute? That's a whole hour. I don't know how you pull that off. You see what I'm saying? So
yes,
you'd have a whole hour of voicemail. So anyway, we will have to see. We have creative control of this venture, so to say. So, but we do appreciate it. So if you've already left the message because you saw Crockett's post on the Facebook group, that's great. It is not a rib. It's not a joke. I do see why everybody thinks everything's a joke these days and a rib, especially when it comes to the wrestling business. Like, wait, is this real? No, it's real. So please know that it's real. It's not a joke. Crockett's not trying to pull a rib on anyone here. But we are at our 10th year, and it's taken a lot to get through 10 years. Crockett, as somebody who podcasted for a little while, imagine going 10 years straight, never missing an episode. That's all I'm saying. I don't mean to toot my own horn or our own horn, but toot.
Exactly. That's why I wanted to make sure you got your flowers.
Oh God, nobody wants flowers. Okay, we just. Oh boy, nobody wants flowers.
So hopefully you can put the number in the description as well. 330-28. Let me do it again. 330-822-4288. That's 330-822-4BTT. Leave your brief and complimentary voicemail now.
I will put the number in the show description for the next couple of weeks, because we'll have to have a cutoff. If we're actually we don't need a cutoff. We can play it the week after. We can play them the week after we hit officially 10 years. It'll just be on the end of a show or something like that. I think that's what we're gonna do. The funny part was when you were saying we would listen to it on a future show. I'm literally thinking about Doc and Harper, like, bruh, I'm not listening to that shit. like I can see them going, bruh, I am not sitting there for an hour and listening. Like they'll want to listen to it after the fact, like, as part of the show. Like if they wanted to download the episode, but I don't think they would want to like literally listen to an hour of calls. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I thought maybe they'd enjoy receiving all the accolades.
The
allocades in terms of Lex Luger.
Allocades, yeah, I'm sure they would. Let's ask Harper when he gets on. Like I'm conferencing him now. Why don't you? I'm sure he saw the post. Maybe he did or didn't see the post on Facebook. But I want you to ask Harper.
Who knows with Facebook?
Yeah, who knows with Facebook? Hey, Harper, we were talking about, I don't know if you saw the post that Crockett made. There is a 1-900 number on the Facebook group, and we are, Mike Crockett is asking the listeners to submit a voicemail congratulating us on 10 years. Did you happen to see that post on Facebook?
Yeah, I thought it was real.
He's the one of the main hosts. I thought it was a rib. Well,
Yeah.
we're telling the people it is real. And Crockett's original idea, which I just kind of shot down a little bit, was like that we would listen to them all on a future show. And I'm like, well, we can put them on the show, but I don't know if we're going to sit there and listen to 30 minutes to an hour of voicemails as we record. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Can you hit me like, okay, I'm gonna play it, and we're gonna listen to 5 of them, and it's 5 minutes, and then we'll play 5 more in 5 more minutes. Would you want to do that?
Go ahead. I dare you.
Right. See, he's full of it. He knows he wouldn't do that. But anyway,
Do it.
how's your computer doing, man? You called me with computer troubles this weekend.
I guess it's fine right now.
Okay, we definitely got to get you one that wasn't built in 1959 when they sent the first astronaut to the space.
I saw them at Walmart. They're like, I don't know, like $200-$300, and they got like 120 whatever the fuck space.
You see what I'm dealing with, Crockett? Oh man. Yeah, we got so anybody who's not a patron, now is a great time to become one at tinyurl.com/patreon/BTT. Harper's computer, it's nearing the end of its life, so it's almost that time, and that money will be used to get him a new computer, because that thing is it wasn't good when he got it. Let me just say it like that. But he twisted my arm to get him this piece of shit, and I did. And
oh yeah, I twisted your arm.
You did.
You said, "Get that cheap one, bitch. We're not fucking
It's not Joe Rogan.
Right." He's like, "Bro, we're not Cornette and fucking last, dude. Get the cheap one."
Well, Crockett,
like,
you're gonna love this. Lady Harper has a Mac, and Harper refuses to use it.
I'm on a Mac right now.
Can you imagine Harper on a Mac?
That thing's at least 10 years old that she has.
What do you think, Crockett?
When you pick it up, it weighs like 50 pounds.
It's one of those old fuckers.
Yeah.
I think maybe don't get the $200 laptop. Maybe a couple steps up from there.
I agree.
Well, fuck, you know how he is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Say no more.
How he?
Yeah,
what
it
is
turns
it, how
on,
he
right?
is?
Yeah, okay.
How you mean how he is? Literally for both of y'all, I've had to like twist y'all arm. Like, no, you need a little bit better computer. Doc's the same way. Doc, bro, all I'm gonna do is record the show on it. I'm not doing nothing else. Now he's having the same problem 5 years after his little cheap laptop he's got. He's like, bro, it just moves slow. Well, I'm like, what else do you do on it? You go on a web? What are you doing? I'm not accusing him of being on, on titty websites or whatever. No, he's like, I don't do anything but record the show on it. I'm like, okay, well, it's a cheap computer. What do you want me to say? These people who use Macs like Crockett though, y'all swear by those things like they don't have problems.
Not the problems you guys are dealing with, apparently.
Yeah, they got marital problems, work problems, but they don't have computer problems.
So, Crockett, do Macs not slow down over time? I'm confused.
We know.
I mean, they do.
Okay, there you go.
I mean, it costs probably 20 times the $200 you guys are talking about.
Exactly. So,
I told him that. He's like, no, bro. Like, that's for rich white people.
Kind of true.
Yes, you did.
It's kind of true, actually.
See? You see?
My wife had one at one point. It was the laptop. It was one of the heavy ones. Probably over 10 years ago, Crockett. Easily.
Yeah.
I hated using that thing. It's like you sit down at the keyboard and it's like a different language than what us normal folks know. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
it's just instead of the control, you have the command key instead of. It's easy.
Bullshit, pal.
You can't do it.
Right. Yeah.
Like you got your fucking shitty Android that's can't take a friggin' text.
Oh my god.
That's what I told him.
Bro, I'm gonna have to get a new phone, bro.
Yeah, it's been saying that for fucking 3 years.
Right. It's man, it's so slow at times. It's so
your
slow.
phone?
Yeah. It's
slow
so
at what?
It's just like the response time. Like if you go from your like I'll go to pull up text messages and then I click on, like, if you send me one, it takes like a few seconds for the text to come up. It's just slow. It just lags. And I mean, it's 8 years old. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll say this about the iPhone too. You know, you're paying an arm and a leg for it, and you do a payment plan through your phone company, and you know they take a little bit off each month. And as soon as you pay that thing off, it starts slowing down. Big coincidence. Very, very coincidental, I'm sure.
Yep.
But as soon as you pay the phone off, it's like, oh, that's not quite working like it used to.
Yep.
Oh, now I need another one. It's like a car.
Yeah.
Yep. As Doc says, planned obsolescence.
Perfect. Yes.
All right. Go ahead.
Obsolescence.
Planned
What is that?
obsolescence. What did
That's
you just?
a parish.
What did you
right?
just say?
Opelousas.
No, Opelousas is a town in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it really is. Opelousas, yes, it is. I'm just laughing. Oh my God. Okay, Harper, I just remembered something. I know we're going to talk about the show, but I wanted to show you something from last week. Let me pull that up now if I can get it to do. Hold on, you might hear some audio if it
Next
plays.
on WCW.
Just kid stuff.
Oh, I gotta find it. Hold on.
You know what? It literally is just kid stuff.
Harper, it's I sat there with Doc as we recorded it, and I'm like, I need Harper's thoughts on this shit because there's something he says in it that Doc and I were just at the very beginning when Tony goes to it. I was just like, wow, are we really doing this? So give me a second. Okay, I got it pulled up now. Let me share my screen. So if you listened to the show last week, you know we went to the Shockmaster's house. I guess they were at his house. And anyway, Tony is about to introduce us to Uncle Fred or Shockmaster. And here it is, Harper. We'll talk about it on the other side.
Oh, hi, everyone. You know, when they send me out to interview the superstars of WCW, I never know what I'm going to encounter. And as promised, we're going to talk to the Shockmaster once again. We're at his home. All of us watching the Cartoon Network. Why all the kids around you during the day here, Shockmaster?
Hey, when school's out, it's over to Uncle Fred's house for fun. We're watching some cartoons, reading a few comic books, playing some games on the video game, you know, I mean, just having fun.
Yeah, I can understand you're having fun, and people have wondered, why have you gone through the change of appearance? Why now the hard hat? Why the shirt going to the ring like this?
It's out of respect for the blue-collar worker. I come from a blue-collar family. You know, my grandfather worked on the railroad, my dad was a mechanic. It's for all those plumbers, policemen, firemen, you know, all the people that are the backbone of this country, the blue-collar worker.
There's no doubt about it. You've made quite an impact into WCW. And what are you doing? Yeah. Well, I want to know about the fact that you can't really stand on your feet a lot of times. You spilled water on me our last interview. You're kind of clumsy. A lot of people have told me, and it's obvious.
I'm clumsy, okay? I was always the big kid. I fell down a lot. I took it and bumped into doorways, you know. I stumbled, you know. Hey, but when the bell rings, everybody's seen the War Games. When the bell rings, I'm in charge.
Will you please blow us up the most
Oh, sure, no problem.
Hey, can I ask you about... Yeah, but they call you Uncle Fred. Why Uncle Fred?
They don't really know him, the Shockmaster.
Uncle Fred, look at the
Okay, well, let's talk about War Games and Match Beyond. What was going through your mind when you went right through the double cage?
There was nothing. It was instinct, man. All I could think of was helping my partners, helping my team. I ripped the door open. I tore through the ropes from one ring to the next ring, threw guys to the left, threw guys to the right, took a punch, guys, then grabbed somebody and squeezed and squeezed and squeezed till I heard the ribs start popping. And then, they said, "Uncle!" I love it. Hey, it's time for me to make it real big. Watch out, because here I come.
Big enough. Far enough. Uncle Fred, that's good. Uncle Fred.
Okay, Harper.
Man. Why?
So, you see who that is to his left?
Yeah.
That's Cody.
Yeah.
Okay. And I told Doc when we recorded last week without you that that's got to be Cody's first words on TBS.
Probably, yeah.
Anyway.
His first words on TV, period.
Right, first words on TV. That's what I thought. We've seen him on TV before. I just don't think he's had he said anything. So my question was, I wish Harper was here because the first thing he's going to say is, who is this for?
I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is for and why is this happening?
Crockett, I need your help.
Yeah, you know why it's happening? Is guaranteed contracts.
I mean, what is this supposed to accomplish?
Yeah, I think number one, he is the brother-in-law of Dusty Rhodes. That's number one. And they gave him a big contract, and you can't have him sitting home collecting that money.
Yeah, but why this?
They're leaning into this clumsy thing when what they should have done the whole time was just act like it never happened and repackaged him.
But why the kids?
Well,
yeah,
because he's clumsy Uncle Fred.
I was going to ask you, Mike, what's worse, inviting a bunch of kids over to your house or Sting and Davey Boy and biting a bunch of kids onto an island?
I mean, I think that's worse. The kids
house?
on the island. I mean, at least we're not on some island in the middle of the Gulf here. We got Tony Schiavone, another respectable human being in, I guess, Uncle Fred's house. I don't know. Neither one is good. No. It's not like either one is good, but yeah, I don't know.
I think you're right though. You just kind of forget that happened and bring him back in 3 months, just doing something different. Because they never really you saw the back of his head when the friggin' helmet came tumbling off.
His face.
Yeah. So you could have kind of erased it and started take him off TV for 3 months, bring him back doing something completely different.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best option, Mike.
It should have been out of sight, out of mind. Let's act like it didn't happen. Instead, we've leaned into his clumsiness, and now we bring him in for this is the second interview. The first one, he spilled water on Tony Schiavone. This is the second one, and in this particular interview, he's watching Harper. He's channeling your inner Me Toons back in 1993. Because he's watching the Cartoon Network with these kids, which doesn't exist anymore, but Me Toons does. So we were thinking maybe you were kind of like the Shockmaster.
I'm watching G.I. Joe the movie right now.
Exactly. See?
Like the one from 87.
Me Toons, bruh.
Yeah, this is just dumb. The balloon with the shit on his face.
Notice how they zoom in on the balloon so he can poke it with a pin and pop it.
Or I think it was a cut. I think there's a hard cut, and they came back and they
see that too being a cut. Yeah.
This is so dumb, Michael. I can't believe you. Why are we doing this?
Harper canceled out the last show, so we didn't have to watch this, and you bring him back and make him do it anyway.
Anyway, I was like, man, the listeners are going to want to hear what Harper has to say about that dumb shit.
This is so bad.
It wasn't good. That's for damn sure. It was, what the piss are we doing, for sure.
Yeah, what is this? Who is this helping?
Well, the word you always use, which I find so fitting, is who was this for?
I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
It was for Fred, Uncle Fred. To get him a paycheck.
They definitely should have just sent them, just not even sent them away. Just, all right, we're going to repackage you, and in 8 weeks, people forget this ever happened.
Yeah, for real.
Because the most memorable part of that is Sid saying "I told you," and either Booker or Steve are saying what, Harper?
Who's this motherfucker?
All right.
That's Uncle Fred.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's all I had for the opening this week. Crockett, do you want to get into the main show? Y'all got anything else in the opening and the intro?
No, let's get right into it.
All right. So let me get the video recorder going, and we are covering, again, it's October 9th of 1993. This week's episode was taped September 7th of 93 at Center Stage. This is actually the third taping that day, according to the history of WWE.com. I think in the last couple of weeks, I said there was a first half and a second half. Well, there's actually 3 parts. So not all of the matches were taped this day. A couple of them weren't, but the semi-main and main weren't. But we joined the show and we go straight to the ring for Too Cold Scorpio and Marcus Bagwell versus the Nasty Boys with Missy Hyatt. But before we go to that, Crockett, anything you have from the opening of this show? We were talking about something off air before we started related to the lineup tonight, but anything from you in the opening before we get into the first match?
Well, the first thing you see when this comes on is they show the WCW World Title and say that, basically this is the world title that matters. He literally says this is the WCW title is the most prestigious title in pro wrestling, when just last week Ric Flair and Rick Rude were like up and down saying that this is the real world title. This is the title that matters. This is the world championship. So it just the world title confusion in the past couple weeks specifically is just, I don't know, anyone that's not paying attention is probably just their head is spinning with the situation with the world titles there. And there's more to come on this show.
Yeah, like Doc and I were saying last week, unless you were a smart fan, if you don't know the situation behind the scenes with what we call the big gold and in the NWA and WCW, if you don't know all that, you're just like, what? Yeah, it's all kinds of crazy. All kinds of crazy.
And they could start to maybe downplay it a little bit with like Rude and Rick's promos, but they're like, they've done the opposite, saying like going over the top, saying how their world title is like the number one, the top of the heap, the most prestigious world title, just causing more confusion. So it's really insane.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you.
And this the rest of the intro here, just showing off the card of this show. Like you said, we were talking about it before. And this is like a mini Clash. This show, there's a world title match, a TV title match, a tag title match that kind of isn't really a tag title match. This show is loaded. By the way, thanks a lot. You've been the past 2 or 3 weeks had your 40-minute shows, and you get me in here, and it's a full 2-hour spectacular. Yeah.
Ah, we got kids to put to
bed. Okay. Right, Harper. Oh boy. Oh man. The only thing Harper's got to put to bed is Me Tunes when he's done. Anyway,
hey, I got to watch Dark Side of the Ring with Tony Atlas.
Yeah, we were actually talking about that because Crockett and I are going to record an episode on it. We don't know when it'll be out. It'll probably be out by the time you hear this, but yeah, we got to find the time to watch it and then record it since it's airing while we're recording this, but definitely going to be a good one. And go ahead.
His real name was Anthony. I never knew that.
He's good friends with Crockett. Did you know that?
Who's that?
Tony Atlas.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Well, they've rip and run the roads together in the Northeast.
Oh.
Not quite. Tony doesn't drive. He did have a referee that drove him around exclusively, but wasn't me.
But they were on a lot of shows together. Stuff. He could tell. He's got Tony Atlas stories. Let me just say that, Harper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, he lives in Maine, so he's up in the Northeast in New England, so been on many a show with Mr. USA.
We've told the story before about Tony Atlas, but I'll tell the brief version here. Crockett was there, and I think we were recording an episode. It was me, you, and Brian Fury years ago, from the New England Pro Wrestling Academy at the time, and y'all were in a Subway with Tony Atlas, correct, Crockett?
Yep.
And Tony Atlas and y'all are ordering sandwiches, and Tony Atlas looking through the glass down at the woman's feet who's making the sandwiches. He just looks up and he says, 7. Brian Fury tells this story better than me. And he was basically just staring at her feet, and he could tell her the size. And she's like, yeah. And Atlas says something, help me out, Crockett. He's like, your feet, size 7. Well,
yep.
Something like that.
She's like, yeah.
Yeah, size 7. Anyway, it was told much better on the show years ago. Needless to say, we had Brian Fury tell some Tony Atlas foot fetish stories on the show years ago. I think some of them are on YouTube. But anyway.
He's like the guy who can guess your weight at the carnival.
Yeah.
Except feet.
Yes.
All right.
God.
But we're planning on doing that at some point. Now on to the episode. Like Crockett said, we got a lot happening this week. The first match is Scorpio and Bagwell versus the Nasty Boys with Missy Hyatt. This match, remember, the Nasty Boys are technically the champions right now, but this was recorded before they won the titles. So this is a non-title match, even though they're technically not the champions at the time of recording, but they are champions now because they got the belts at the pay-per-view. Anyway, Crockett, I'll go to you. See what you got from this one.
I got 338. It's just a kind of messed up double team.
Go back to it.
Let's see.
Yeah, it was Scorpio and I think it's Scorpio trying to do a double. Yeah, Scorpio and Bagwell doing a double hip toss, but
he completely missed him. He missed that. How did Scorpio miss him?
I don't know if it was Sags. Maybe it didn't
it was
up
really
there.
weird.
I don't know.
A double hip toss is not hard to pull off. But, we all make mistakes, right?
That's right.
Just look at Jaworski.
I know. Come on.
Oh, boy. Okay. Anything else, Crockett?
No, just right after that, Scorpio goes to the top and misses the splash, and that's kind of the beginning of that's the cutoff there, and he gets worked over for quite a bit.
Yeah.
There's stuff on the floor. Like, I noticed in this show in particular, and probably all over WCW, the managers just get all over these guys when they hit the floor. Every manager is just destroying everybody when they hit the floor. You get a slap from Missy here when Scorpio is on the floor. Then there's a chair shot on the floor. Just a whole bunch of stuff going on here.
Yeah.
At one point, Jesse Ventura says, "The Nasty Boys are what the name implies. Nasty."
You weren't lying.
That's not exactly implying it, right? That's just outright saying it.
Right. There's no implication.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember Bill Watts was bringing in Law and Order, and now that's out the window because there is a lot of shenanigans on the floor every week with the managers. I don't oppose that with the managers. I think sometimes they do get lazy with it, but it's fine usually.
By the way, I know I'm here for Doc this week, so I have to go to 650.
Okay. What are we looking for as I go back to it?
Just something from Jerry Sags. A little Jerry Sags dick dancing.
Here comes.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to describe it. He's not swiveling his hips.
It's a little shimmy. I don't know.
It's a little shimmy. I mean, the best way to yeah. It's terrible. God, Harper, that's probably what you look like in Kenny's Key West in the 90s, huh?
That's right, baby.
From dusk till
What's
dawn,
up,
whatever turns you on.
It's almost
That's
like a little
right.
big wiggle.
Yeah, it was like a big wiggle almost, except he's on his tippy toes.
Maybe medium wiggle.
Medium wiggle. Okay. That was something, man. But thank you for pointing out the dick dancing. The finish of the match. We get all four guys end up in the ring. Bagwell and Sags are the legal men. gets some shenanigans, and then Bagwell hits the perfect plex on Knobs, and actually, was it Knobs or Sag? I can't even remember. Hits the perfect plex, and Bagwell and Scorpio win. So they pinned the Nasty Boys. It was non-title though, and again, it was taped prior to the Nasty Boys winning at the pay-per-view. So there was that. Anyway, not too bad. Definitely a shocker if you're watching it.
I like the finish here. If you see Sags kind of grabs both their legs, and as they're coming off the ropes, I mean, not Sags doesn't. Scorpio grabs both the Nasty Boys' legs as they're coming off the ropes. He's on the floor. And so Knobs gets tripped up, and Sags gets tripped up but doesn't go down. So he kind of stumbles right into Bagwell, who gets the the cradle suplex, which was I really like that finish.
Yeah. Again, if you're watching on Saturday night, you're shocked.
Different.
It definitely was different. Non-title though, so there's that. That's I guess the one thing you can look at it like that. Any other thoughts before I go to the promo with Bagwell and Scorpio?
No.
Well, Missy Hyatt is not happy with what just happened, so let's hear what happens here when Tony Schiavone is interviewing Bagwell and Scorpio.
We are back with you on Saturday night in a program that still has to come for the WCW World Title. Vader and the Dragon started out like a house of fire, and they're still wild here. What a major upset. The Nasty Boys losing to Too Cold and Marcus Alexander Bagwell.
Hey, man, I tell you, Tony, right now, I'm so excited. We just came out and we beat the Nasty Boys. Nasty Boys, how does it feel to be Nasty Side? Find out, Cold Man and Bagger, baby.
I tell you what, Tony, you can feel the excitement in the whole arena. All these great fans stand behind Marcus and Too Cold Scorpio all the way from the bottom to the top.
Hey, let me tell you something. You guys shitted my Nasty Boys and you're nothing but a bunch of little punks. And let me tell you something else. You're going to have to start from the bottom and work your way up to the top if you want to get to the ring with the Nasty Boys, and you're not going to be able to get in the ring with my Nasty Boys.
Well, Tony, all the people saw it, Missy saw it, and these great fans saw it. We beat the Nasty Boys, and we deserve a
Hey.
We'll get even with the Nasty Boys. We know your number now, and me and Scorpio's coming at you, baby.
You know, we should be the #1 contender. So that means whoever's got the strap, baby, watch out, because me and Marcus is coming, baby.
Let's go back to the ring.
I can't listen to Bagwell. I'm sorry, Scorpio cut a promo no more without thinking about what he said on Dark Side of the Ring.
Marcus got dick this big.
That's what Missy was saying.
Oh, God, come on.
No, come on.
Grow up. What is wrong with you? You're supposed to be the professional one here.
She wouldn't know.
She would, right. Exactly. Come on. Anyway, any thoughts, Crockett, on whatever that was?
Well, first of all, Doc wanted me to make sure I pointed out that Tony is wearing the same suit for the 3rd week in a row.
Whoa.
I think he's...
Poor guy.
I think he's up to 4 now.
Broke.
Is it?
I think so. I think last week he was
this
saying
entire
3rd.
taping for sure.
Yeah. Well, remember, this is the 3rd of the original taping, but according to Doc, he was even wearing it before then. So I don't, but leave Tony
at least change his tie?
I haven't paid that close of attention.
As for the
back in the 90s when we were watching wrestling, we weren't paying attention to those things like that.
No.
We weren't like, oh my God, our favorite commentator's got the same shirt on.
Oh, hello.
Oh, speaking of which,
she's cute.
I've gotten several emails about the audience and the females in the audience. And there are people telling me, and now that I'm being told this, I feel like this is true, that Eric Bischoff was putting women in the audience as like, not necessarily plants, but he was freshening up the audience with attractive ladies.
You think so?
I'm gonna tell you that. I mean, they're definitely plants. I was looking this up. I remember this from back in the day. I looked up just to be sure. I found something that says, the fans in the front center at center stage, In the front center section at center stage, which is roped off from regular fans, consists of TBS executives and people being paid $25 to $50 as scene extras from an Atlanta talent agency.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Think
models.
about all these weeks now where we've kind of been seeing, Doc every time he sees somebody that looks halfway attractive to him is like, stop right there. He wants to have a discussion. Apparently, we are seeing plants.
Okay.
I mean, not plants in terms of them getting involved in a wrestling, but just, they're almost extras. I don't know how else to say it. So, that seems to be the case. Thank you for
What about the lady
that.
who looks like the monster from House? She was a plant?
That was not a plant. That was just a animal.
A plant.
There was nothing. She might have looked like a plant, but that poor woman.
Come on.
But no,
She's probably sitting in some trailer right now.
She's not alive, dude.
Oh yeah, she is.
This is 32 years ago, man. What are the odds on
She's
that?
like, I don't care. I think those tariffs are going to work.
Okay. Let's not get political here. we couldn't make it into the show without that. I'm not going there with you tonight, Harper. Anyway.
If those tariffs work and they make the computers here in the U.S., maybe Harper can get one that actually work.
Jeez. Oh my God.
Oh, Mike's got some cutting to do tonight.
Oh, I'm not cutting that. It's funny.
Wouldn't that be great? Like if all of a sudden like Commodore 64 comes back and
oh my God.
Green screen.
I think that's
with the green screen.
First computer I ever was on in my life. A Commodore
Randy
64.
had one.
Yeah.
A friend of mine has one in the original, like it's his from when he was a kid. He's got the box and everything.
Jesus.
And on the back of the box, like it says, used to play video games, a word processor, and it says electronic mail. And I'm like, this thing had fucking email?
God, that was like the mid-'80s.
That's what I'm saying, but it says electronic mail.
Does it have a telephone port in it?
I have no idea, dude. But I'm thinking, man, email must have been like a fucking amoeba.
Yeah.
If it was anything back then.
Yeah. That was the first one. I knew somebody who had one. And I remember the first time I got on, I was like, and he had like the games, the cartridges or whatever. I was like,
yeah.
I remember playing that
disc.
and I was like, man, this is cool.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Good shit, pal.
All right. We watched Charlie Norris defeat Rip Rogers. Did you have anything from that one? It was very quick. Crockett.
I mean, Rip Rogers was getting after it, as you and Doc like to say.
He was
right off the bat. Jump started the match. He was chopping the hell out of him. It was. I mean, Rip kind of made it interesting to watch while it lasted. But yeah, it was quick, and he came back and hit the big boot, and that was it.
That's all I had. Big boot by Charlie Norris, and Norris wins. We then went to a very quick Ricky Steamboat promo where Steamboat talks about Vader. He called him large like a barge, and then says, look at David versus Goliath and see how that went down in terms of Steamboat basically saying he's going to take down Vader. It was a quick promo. I don't even think it was 30 seconds. Did you have anything from that one?
No, I just like you said, I just had Steamboat promo. Vader is large like a barge. That's all I had.
That's the main thing he said. From there, we go to the Halloween Havoc Control Center with Chris Cruz. Chris Cruz announces the Nasty Boys will face Bagwell and Scorpio at Halloween Havoc for the belts. And also he mentions Sting versus Sid at Halloween Havoc as well. Card is really shaping up to be something. There was a meat and potatoes promo from Sting here, and Cruz basically reiterated the entire card. Anything from this one, Crockett?
First of all, there's something in the Sting promo that I'm going to come back to later. We don't have to listen to it.
Okay.
But there's a. Can you go? I don't know where it is, but the picture of Steve Regal that they show when they talk about his match. I don't know where it is actually in the. Why is he dressed like a Harlem Globetrotter?
He is.
Is it a basketball? No, or is it like it must be a
It's a tracksuit.
Yeah,
I can't tell if that's supposed to be a rugby ball.
I believe so. Yeah.
I thought. See, now that I look at it, I thought like it's like a warm up, like what basketball players wear, and he's holding a basketball.
It's not a basketball because it's too pointy.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I see it now. Yeah, it's a rugby ball.
I've never seen him in that outfit, so I was a little taken aback.
Right, because he's got the headband on.
It's fantastic. But
yeah, he's got the tracksuit, and I'm trying to see what that is on his chest on the on the right
logo.
It's like some sort of caricature or something.
It is.
I think it says BTT.
Somebody
that's
over,
a 10-year anniversary gear coming out this month.
Right. Somebody in the UK is going to be able to tell us, oh, no, that's a team from such and such.
I think it's a flower. That's what it looks like.
No, it's something.
Like
Ain't no flower, dude. Hold on. Let me put my glasses on so I can see.
Oh, jeez. Get the readers.
What'd you say? Use your finger. Use your finger.
You get to make the picture bigger.
Use your finger.
It's not working.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, finger it, Mike. Finger it.
That's just sounds so terrible. Use your finger.
Fuck, you know what I'm talking
Smell
about.
it.
When you like,
What's it smell? What's it smell like?
You pinch it, right?
I
or the
think
other
it's
way.
some little character.
Well, I can't do that. It's on the computer screen, Harper. I can't.
Hit the fucking the thing that makes it bigger.
Double
in the top right hand. Yeah. Like in the top right hand by the X.
I still can't see it. I did that.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Mike.
God, you don't deserve it, that a computer.
Do it. Okay. Do it right. I bet I can see it.
All right. I'll tell you what. Report back to us after.
Jesus Christ.
What?
You fucking.
All right. Continuing
I don't
along.
fucking want to know, bro.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Somebody from the UK is going to have to tell us.
Who?
I don't know.
Salcha?
Bro, how many times do we have to go through this? We have people who listen to us all around the world.
No, we don't.
Bro, we do.
Massachusetts doesn't count.
Okay. Dude, I was looking. I sent it to Doc this weekend. Something had me looking at something on Podbean. And there was, hold on, let me find it. I was looking at the amount of people who listened this year, and believe it or not, there are a lot of downloads from China.
Oh no.
Hong Kong, Brazil,
Pantium.
Saudi Arabia, Egypt, India.
That ain't good, Mike.
Why not? What's?
It's the Pantium printer people.
Well, maybe so. So be it. Who cares? All right, back to the show.
China.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, where's the tariff joke? Harper was expecting.
Saudi Arabia? Hey, maybe Saudi Arabia could fucking buy us.
We want the Saudis to buy BTT. That's great.
Yeah, that'll be freaking awesome, huh?
I would. I mean, can you imagine that payout? Yeah.
I know you.
Here's the thing. How much money? How much money would you want?
How much they got?
A lot. The Saudis. All right, back to the wrestling. Harlem Heat versus Mark Starr and Sam Houston. Our old buddy, Harper, Sam Houston. Tony says, call the hotline. Ole has an update for us after midnight on the hotline. And Jesse says, I know you love this one, Crockett. A guy his age can stay up past midnight?
Oh,
yeah.
And now it's you, Mike.
Yeah, buddy.
You are the Ole of 2025.
Oh, wait. I got some fucking news about the rugby uniform.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yes.
I'm sure it's a work, but go ahead.
According to AI, it's impossible to definitely say which Pacific rugby team William Regal, Darren Matthews is wearing the jersey
high school
for.
with him?
Yeah, for real.
I've been doing a champ for 25 years.
He is primarily known as a professional wrestler, not a rugby player. However, there is a reference to the Wingham, WIGAN Warriors, a rugby league club wearing a Pacific, I don't know what the fuck, a Lilac, LILAC, charity third kit in partnership with the local hospice. Oh, wait, this is something from something recent. I don't fucking know. Just fucking do it, Mike.
All right. Keep doing your research. We might find out. Okay.
I did see something where there was a flower for like the England Rugby Union. There's a flower on the left chest of their uniform, so maybe that could be it.
Right, it's on their helmet.
Okay, fair enough. Harlem Heat versus who is this? Mark Starr and Sam. Houston.
Starr and Sam Houston.
We get a very early spinarooni from Booker here. It's not the spinarooni we came to know and love, but it's the first version of it. Because he hits the spinarooni, but instead of the kick, he delivers a lariat out of it.
There you go.
Yeah. So, right there, he's going to get the Rolex. I'm just letting you know right now.
First ever spinarooni.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen one before. If we have, I didn't commit it to memory.
I wonder who started calling it a spinarooni.
That was during the Nitro days.
Are you sure?
I swear that's the first time I ever heard it, but
I thought it was until he got to WWF.
Right, yeah.
Maybe so. I know they didn't call it a spinarooni here.
No.
It's crazy.
He said, Jesse called it a breakdancing move.
That's exactly what it actually is. That's what.
Yeah.
The funny part. It's he's breakdancing, but it's.
You used to breakdance, Mike?
Not very good.
Oh.
I wasn't like you in Metairie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I was doing a centipede.
I bet you were.
Down fucking veterans.
I bet you were. Dude, you know what I used to love during that era when you would go to the French Quarter? Man, they would have kids down there breakdancing, making a killing.
I bet they did.
Oh my God! You know they'd bring the tile, not the tile, that linoleum shit. They'd have that linoleum. You know what I'm talking about? The stuff they used to put in houses. Maybe they still do.
Yeah.
They'd unroll that sucker and basically put bricks on the corners to hold it down, and then they would wipe it down with this solution. Oh my God! Them dudes would be in the French Quarter and Jackson Square just making a kill and breakdancing for tourists.
Something made me think about when fucking me and Randy used to go to those like shithead strip clubs in a quarter when we were like 16 years old.
Of course. You and Randy.
There's Randy.
Mr. Randy Watson makes his name another mention. Matt Wilson in the Facebook group just cranked. Booker and Stevie win with relative ease. Did you have anything from this one, Crockett?
I thought it was a little interesting. Sam Houston was in Global before this, so maybe he crossed paths with Booker and Stevie. I didn't see that they actually had any matches with each other, but maybe they requested him because they knew him from Global. But the end of this match got a little wonky at 24:40.
Yeah,
First, there's like a cross up on I think a clothesline was called, but no one knew who was supposed to throw the clothesline. If you look right here,
yeah, they both bump, and Booker doesn't really sell it.
And then this weird ass pile driver spot. If you watch this, what is going on here? What the fuck is this?
I don't think either one of them. It damn near looked like a pedigree unintended.
Yeah,
Sam delivers a pedigree, but it wasn't. That wasn't what it was supposed to be. I don't know if it was supposed to be a backdrop or something, and somebody's got their lines crossed right there.
I used to have Sam's CD.
I remember you telling me that he made a comedy CD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was a comedy CD.
Harper couldn't take him serious. He shows up at the Wildcat School one night and he goes, "I made a comedy CD." And Harper goes, "Really, Sam?" He's like, "Yeah. You want a copy?" "Sure." I could see Sam Houston telling you that, and you're like, "What the fuck, dude?" Was it funny?
No, it was him singing like a kind of like a Johnny Cash.
Oh my God, that's even worse.
I don't know.
It was a religious song.
All the old wrestlers find religion.
Well, someone's got to find it, Mike, since you turned your back on it.
I'm sorry, I'm not a good crack Catholic white boy from Metairie like you.
You're not.
Oh,
now,
boy.
did you work shows with Sam, Mike?
I've actually worked him before.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a tall, lanky bastard, man. I tell you.
Yeah, he is, dude.
Yeah, I worked Sam Houston 2 times for sure. I'm trying to remember if another time in a tag match. Sam's a character. He's walking around in the back, and for whatever reason, every show I was on that he was on, he always had a can of nuts with him, like peanuts or something. And he walks around. He's so goofy. He's like, "Want a handful of my nuts?" Like, "No, Sam, I'm good." But he is a lot taller than I think people realize. I mean, Harper, how tall are you?
He's what, 6'7"?
Dude, he's tall. He is tall, and I mean, even he was real lanky at one point, but he's a tall dude. Like, I would say he's a good 6'5". Might be taller than that. I don't know what Wikipedia says he is.
His physique still looks the same too.
Yeah. He's gained a little
worked
bit.
The Wildcat show, with age, but I mean, he worked the Wildcat show pre-COVID, man, and he was still flying all over the place, and they couldn't keep up with him.
Yeah, he wasn't one of those old guys. Like, I worked him maybe in 2000, and it would have been 7 because I didn't have a match. I only had a couple matches after my dad died. That's why I knew the exact date. It was probably in 2007. I worked with him a couple times. He could move, bro. Even at that age, at that point, he was still going.
In his early 40s at that time, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, he was. Yeah, he can go. I mean, he could go back then. I think. I mean, Sam had other demons, and that's probably why he didn't, do anything else. Although he wasn't a WrestleMania.
That's true.
Yeah, the WrestleMania 4 Battle Royal.
Yeah. Yep. But anyway,
he's 29 here, by the way. Just about to turn 30.
Wow.
Damn, he's that young.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He had been all over it before 30.
I was gonna say he had been everywhere at that point. He
was before Vince 30 and everything.
All right. Any other thoughts on that match, Crockett?
No, I mean, it kind of broke down at the end, but it was all right. I don't think it's deserving of a Rolex, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. By the way, Booker is 28 at this time as well. So him and Sam only a year apart. So literally, Sam's winding down. I don't say winding down, but he's kind of hit his peak by this point. And then you got somebody like Booker and Stevie. They're not even close to their peak yet. On that note, though, we will go to Steve Austin, who is with Tony Schiavone, and they will be interrupted, but just listen. Here it is.
Saturday night. I've talked to Stunning Steve before, but now it has been announced. Halloween Havoc exclusively on pay-per-view. It's you and Dustin Rhodes for the U.S. heavyweight title. You mentioned that's what you were after.
That's what I was asking for, and it's about time Stunning Steve Austin started getting exactly what he was asking for. Everyone who's seen me wrestle Dustin Rhodes down the road for the World Television title knew that when both of us stepped in the ring, they were going to see one hell of a match. And the U.S. title, Tony, now that I'm in a singles mode, means a lot to me. And looking at myself, the qualifications that I possess, I think I'll make an outstanding U.S. champion. Allow me to interrupt you. I'm sorry for always interrupting you, but I've told you the way I feel about you. I couldn't help but notice in the back
that you had gotten that match you said you wanted here just a week ago. You wanted Dustin Rhodes, is that right, U.S. title? I see that smile on his face like a Chelsea cat. I wonder who put that smile there, Steve Austin.
I got the match. I told you I wanted the match, and I got the match.
I know why he got the match, because Colonel Parker's been back behind the scenes getting the job done for you. That's why.
Whether the people listen to Colonel Tom Parker or they're listening to Steve Austin, the end result is that I do have a title match. I got to say, some of the things you're saying are quite interesting, but the bottom line is I do have the match against Dustin Rhodes. You're looking for the next U.S. champion.
Let's go to Colonel Parker in the ring.
All right. Crockett, any thoughts on Parker kind of insinuating I'm the one pulling the strings for you there, Mr. Austin?
Yeah, it's sad just because I think we're just about at the end of the Hollywood Blondes era, which was way too brief. But yeah, I think that's where we're headed with this. Steve calls him Colonel Tom Parker, a little slip up there. And he does say the bottom line is, which of course was made quite famous later on. He's becoming more and more stone cold every day.
Harper, I can't look at him now without thinking Ole Miss Booster.
That's him.
Yep. All right, boy, you gonna come on down to Ole Miss?
Play for Ole Miss, and
We're gonna get Mama a Cadillac. Power
put your
sheep.
Cadillac, and I'll let you come hunt at my hunting club. You can shoot any damn deer you want.
You like deers, son? Oh yes, sir. I like deers. I got a hunting club, son. I provide the rifle, ammunition, and everything. You ain't got to pay a dime. Just come on down to Ole Miss. Put you in that full back. You'll be a good compliment to our backfield, son.
And if you get us to the Cotton Bowl, I'll let you fly there on my own plane.
Okay. Oh, all right. From there, we go to Sid Vicious, who's taking on Dave Hart. Sid pummels this poor fella inside of 90 seconds. Crockett, thoughts?
Yeah, like you said, it's the face of this guy.
This dude looks terrified, man. Look at him. He's like, oh, God.
He was like some guy I would went to high school with or something.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Look at he's like Jesus Christ.
It's Sid is tall. That's all it is.
He looks like a kid.
Yeah, the funny thing is, just like you were talking about with Sam Houston, you don't realize everyone, and especially at this time in wrestling, was so tall. You don't realize how tall they are. I mean, you've talked about Harper, seeing Mick Foley, and he's just a big, tall bastard. You don't realize that when you see the guy until you see the guy in person. Everyone is just at this. I mean, you couldn't get into wrestling if you were under 6 feet, like today.
Right.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, like the very first time I ever saw Sam Houston in person, I was like, damn, he's that taller than I thought he was. I mean, he just, and Sid's even taller. I mean, dude, Sid's massive. I mean, we joke and play a lot, but I mean, there's a reason he was a star. Like, he's just got a look. Like, you see this dude walking down the aisle and getting in the ring with that intensity, and you feel like, wow, he's a specimen.
Yeah, you don't question why everyone sees him and thinks, okay, this is the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He was given so many chances to be the guy too.
Yeah, so true. He wins.
Another thing I want to
go ahead.
I want to bring up is just the lack of quality control. He just did a big boot, which was the finisher of Charlie Norris earlier in the night. You had who was doing the power? Stevie Ray did a power slam, which is Davey Boy and Davey Boy's finish. I think later we have. I think it's Knobs did a bear hug, which our friend Uncle Fred's finish. So it's just like everyone's just doing everyone else's stuff, and no one's really kind of paying attention.
Well, look how he takes that power bomb. He doesn't bump flat.
Yeah, he's the scared guy who puts his hands down. Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's even worse. That's how you hurt yourself.
You could, break a wrist that way.
Yeah, it's like your arm getting caught, like some kind of funny way, like your shoulder. Like, let's say your elbows stick in there and, and then it just sends a shockwave up through your shoulder and then your shoulders popped out. So much bad shit can happen when you don't take that right. But anyway, maybe Dave Hart was terrified because he knew what happened to what's his name who broke his back. Well, even though it wasn't Sid that did, it was Vader.
Right.
Any other thoughts, Crockett, before we keep going?
No, I got thoughts on the promo.
Yeah, me too. I'm about to play it. So after the match, Tony is ringside with Colonel Parker and Sid Vicious. Here it is.
All right, at Halloween Havoc, it'll be nothing less than a collision between WCW's most popular athlete, Sting, and the man who says he rules the world by the looks of... He's right, Sid Vicious.
You, Tony Schiavone, shut your stinking mouth! I'm sick and tired of Sting coming out here going, Sid, you cost me the world championship! That's bull, Sting! You know, and everyone else knows, that the only man that deserves that shot is myself, Sid Vicious! I'm sick and tired of being brought to my attention that Sting is the WCW franchise. Well, my friend, Sid Vicious and Halloween Havoc, we're going to show to you and everybody else in this world why Sid Vicious rules the world. Now you shut up, old man. Next time you come out here and you offer Steve Austin a title shot, when you can't do a damn thing for me. One more thing like that, Mr. Parker, and you'll be finding yourself a job.
Have a good day. More still to come on TBS.
Sid is pissed, foaming at the mouth, spitting everywhere, and he ain't happy with Colonel Parker.
He wants his title shot.
That was interesting. You said you had thoughts, Crockett. What are they?
It's funny because Tony says it earlier in the show, and Sid says it here, that Sting calls himself the franchise, and he considers himself the franchise. That promo during Halloween Havoc that I mentioned earlier, during the Halloween Havoc Control Center, Sting literally says, I don't consider myself the franchise. So the whole crux of this thing is Sting's the franchise, Sid wants to be the franchise, Sting says, yeah, I'm not the franchise. So
yeah, he's being modest. I see what you're saying, yeah.
Oh.
No one's on the same page with this company.
Shut up.
It's airtight, brother, right?
It was airtight, brother. I mean, it's not a secret. There's a lot of inconsistencies in this era. I mean, we've gone through leadership after leadership after leadership. So sure, it's something. But look at Colonel Parker's face when Sid is reading him his rights, so to say. His mannerisms are spectacular. He's a hell of an actor. Like he's like, come on. He's looking sad and upset. Look at him.
Oh.
He's scoring without the ball.
Even Sells getting the spit in his face.
Yeah. He's scoring without the ball. I love that. That was good. That was good. All right. Well, good stuff. Harper, you got any thoughts on Sid right there and Colonel Parker?
No.
I said ball, huh? All right.
He's like some kid that pissed off because his NIL deal wasn't as big as he thought it was going to be.
Yeah. From there, we go to Dustin Rhodes and the Shockmaster versus Tex Slashinger and Shanghai Pierce. Shockmaster stumbles, coming to the ring, loses his hard hat.
Christ.
Dustin has to pick his hard hat up off the floor, put it back on Uncle Fred's head.
Man, this is...
They're taking on Tex and Shanghai. Tony and Jesse are joking about the interview with Shockmaster at Shockmaster's house. last week, which we watched at the beginning of this show. I don't know what to fucking say about this shit. Yeah, we're leaning into Uncle Fred, Shockmaster, being clumsy. There's no other way to say it. And now we're supposed to, I guess, believe in this semi-legitimate tag match, although it doesn't go long. What were your thoughts, Crockett?
The thing you played from last week of them, him playing with the kids. Oh, that came out wrong. Of him
watching
at his
cartoons
house with the children.
Watching cartoons with the kids,
watching cartoons. Thank you. He says they don't know I'm the Shockmaster. And here he comes out dressed exactly the same as he was at his house with the hard hat and all. And he's called the Shockmaster, not Uncle Fred. He's called the Shockmaster. So how do they not know he's the Shockmaster unless they don't watch WCW, which is just a bad look for the company? I thought like if he came out in this garb, he would be Uncle Fred. And when he puts on the dumb helmet, that's when he becomes the Shockmaster. But here he is dressed as the construction worker, but he's still the Shockmaster. So once again in the show, I'm completely confused.
Everything was airtight, brother.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't have an answer for you. Harper, do you?
No. It's stupid.
Back to the match. Anything from it, Crockett? I don't have a rebuttal for you on what you said. I mean, you nailed it. It's like, well, I can't argue with you there.
Just Jesse the entire time saying, who the hell would want to team with this guy? And just burying him at every turn. It's like, but Tony does come back and say like, oh, the guy can wrestle, he can fight. That's all that matters. Like, once he gets between the ropes, even if he trips on the ropes coming in, he's good once the bell rings. So, I mean, they're trying, but it's what the fuck. And the finish here. Did you talk about the finish yet?
No, it's coming right here where he bear hug into the slam.
Yeah, but he gets a submission for the bear hug, but the part with the slam is the best part of it, because, I mean, a bear hug's a fucking bear hug, even in 1993. So I would let him do the bear hug, and then it's basically a spine buster, and then pin him, but instead they get the submission, and then he spikes him anyway. So I would have just gone for the pin rather than submit to the stupid-looking bear hug.
I think they're going to start doing exactly what you said, where he does the bear hug into the pin. I think that's where they go with it, because I do remember him like pinning people with it. But yeah, they call a submission. Well, Nick Patrick basically waves his arms like it's over before the slam. So I know what you mean.
Yeah.
All right, Crockett, you weren't here last week. Harper was. Well, Harper wasn't here last week. He was here week before last. We got introduced to the WCW Amateur Challenge. You and I have talked offline about this. We've watched a couple now on the show, but anything you want to say before I play this week's edition of the Amateur Challenge?
Harper, can you find the all-time future Hall of Fame superstar in this set of Amateur Challenge videos?
Okay.
All right. Here it is. We're going to go to it now. It's real quick. It's only like 25 seconds or so, but we're going to see a couple of three fellas here. Here we go.
The WCW Amateur Challenge. Mr. Cameraman, zoom in on this mug.
And to all those that doubt high voltage, the stupid, stinking, sorry, sniveling, silly, sassy, pitiful, pathetic, low-down, lousy, dirty, filthy, nasty, idiotic, bone mug, selfish, childish, paltry skeptics, watch me as I do what I do best. Prove people wrong and wrestle.
And you are gonna feel my wrath. I am Lone Wolf, and I am coming.
Play on. It's the W.
Bro, when he hit that, the last dude, Jesus Christ. Harper, did you pick out the future Hall of Famer?
Is that what's his name from DX? Armstrong.
That's not who
this
that.
Guy here.
Yes, who is that?
Oh God, I haven't.
You've been on a show with him before.
Oh, is that Joe Kane?
Crockett, tell him who this is.
Wait. Oh, that is, I don't know. That's not Rob Van Dam, is it? No.
No, we've already seen Van Dam.
right. That's what I was about to say. Oh.
Let him know who it is.
He grew his hair out after this.
Luke Hawks.
Close. No, I'm kidding.
Who?
Matt Hardy.
Oh, gosh. I wouldn't have gotten that.
That's why I said you've been on a show with him before. He's worked for Wildcat.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. That looks absolutely nothing like him.
It goes to show you, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to tell he's wearing the sunglasses. Maybe if the sunglasses off, you'd be able to see a little better.
He's with High Voltage. Remember that tag team?
I do remember that tag team.
Yeah, I think he's claimed that, yeah, they took the name and gave it to the tag team later on.
Oh, wow.
We're not far away from those guys. Just a couple of years, maybe, I think, when High Voltage starts working.
Danger, High Voltage. That's their music.
Yeah. Anyway, that was this week's Amateur Challenge. Whew, boy. From there, any thoughts on it, Crockett?
No, I mean, the guy at the end, they already have a guy ripping off Tatanka, so we don't need another one.
Yeah, for real, huh?
He did the whole Native American chant too at the end. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Imagine being immortalized on WCW Saturday Night for the rest of your life.
Look at that hair.
I know.
Oh, I wanted to go back to this. So we got Bobby Eaton taking on a guy by the name of Joe Edmunds. Harper, where's this guy work and was he drive?
Oh, God. Let's see. A 78 Camaro.
All right.
He's a diesel mechanic.
There you go. That's a good one. Diesel mechanic
diesel
and drives
in
a
that hair.
78 Camaro.
Yeah, he's got a pack of Marlboro Lights in his fucking pocket 24/7.
He's like Elvis in the front and Dave Mustaine in the back.
Yeah.
He don't know what he's doing either.
Oh, yeah, that's true, huh?
Did you see that lockup?
Poor old Bobby.
Look at him. He don't know what he's doing.
Oh my goodness!
He does not know what he's
Bobby
doing.
knows right away.
It's got okay.
Put him in a hold.
The lockup was like non-existent. The dude is like, he has no clue. At least he's in a ring with a nice guy like Bobby Eaton, though. Oh man. Anyway, another relatively quick match in my eyes. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a nothing happening match. The only things timestamps I have were Jesse and Tony because they know it's nothing happening as well. 42-13. Jesse gives his thoughts on the amateur challenge.
Yeah, Jesse's not a fan. Here it is. Let's listen to what he's got to say.
Snap married him over again. Fans, we still have Flair and Quan, and then the TV title and the world title to be decided on this program here this week.
We got any more of them amateur interviews?
No, that was it.
Good. My stomach will settle then. Beautiful Bobby.
I mean, he's been on that for every time they air it. He's like, these idiots. I think the first week he was like, I think Tony asked him what he thought, and he's like, I ain't got nothing to say about those idiots. You know, he wasn't too happy with it. But anyway, Jesse's going to let you know how he feels. That's for damn sure.
And then more Jesse and Tony at 43-30.
Oh, boy. I don't even have that note, so let's see
This
what it
is
is.
Shinlock City, by the way.
Well, yeah, the guy doesn't know what he's doing. But let's listen to the commentary.
In Louisiana area, you can see it live at the Lakefront Arena.
And if you don't see it live, look for all of us down on Bourbon Street when it's over.
And we'll be dead. Reverse chinlock. I've been with you on Bourbon Street. No, thank you.
It's my favorite street in the whole U.S. of A. I can't wait to go back to New Orleans. New Orleans, that's how you say it down there. New Orleans.
A knee from
It's all one word down there.
I know that. A pickup, Bobby. Oh, he dropped him back. Wow, what a move.
Aren't I a great color man? I even provide education when I'm on here.
You're very educational.
You're very educational. Okay.
Tony says it in New Orleans, and then Jesse says it New Orleans. Are either of those correct?
Tony wasn't right. Jesse was closer.
New Orleans.
Yeah. It does. The word does kind of get, the two words kind of get combined. Kind of.
Say it, Crockett.
Nolans.
No, that ain't how you say it.
No.
Now, when people say that, you're like, okay, you're trying too hard.
Yeah. How you say
North.
Boston?
Yeah, how you say Boston? Boston.
Boston.
See? Yeah. I don't know what it is with you Northeasterners. It's like y'all can't say, like, instead of, y'all don't say bar, y'all say ba. Ka.
Well, I say bar.
Yeah, ba. It's like when I'm talking to Mike Prue. Like, I can tell he's like
oh, yeah,
I can hear it all in his voice. It's like, you know, just you could tell he's from that area.
Oh yeah, he's all deep in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's like a Sam Adams commercial.
Basically, yeah. He's like like you always hear like the cops that they interview on the news are always have the worst Boston accents. He's like
oh God, dude, yeah. God, when you watch one of those old fucking cops from Boston, holy shit. You know exactly where the hell they're from.
There was a couple of precincts, I think, that they had from Boston in the live PD or OP live show that they do, or I think it's still on the air. I haven't watched it in a while, and there was a couple from that area, and there was a couple of police officers. It was like, man, you could hear their voice, you could hear their accent. It's so strong. Anyway,
yeah.
Crockett's not that bad. His accent is
no.
I don't hear it, but like like Mike Prue, his is strong. JV that they do the ECW, theirs are strong. Their accents are strong to me. You know what's funny? When we were kids, Harper, they would tell us that people from Boston have a similar accent to people from New Orleans, and I never understood that.
Who would tell you that?
Man, I would hear people say that. I'm like, y'all don't know what y'all are talking about.
Yeah.
But we'll keep going with the wrestling. Let's see. Bobby Eaton won Alabama Jam off the top. We go then to Yoshi Kwan versus Ric Flair, who's got Fifi with him. Man, this was a good match. It's a shame Yoshi Kwan just was given this rather just terrible gimmick. Crockett, I mentioned a few weeks ago and a few times, I think it was on the pay-per-view I mentioned it. What is, they give him this stereotypical walk to come to the ring. I cannot get past it every time I see him walk coming out. It's like, is this supposed to like how much more derogatory can you be to an Asian culture? So are you saying Asian folks walk like this?
People walk.
No, it's so terrible.
I'm gonna put a tariff on that walk.
Okay, please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Please
Looks
stop.
like, man, it's just it's almost like he's like an Asian woman with the fan.
What do they call that? The dress there,
what do you call that, Mike? You're real worldly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of the K. The kimono.
Yeah.
A Komodo dragon.
Okay. Are they going to put a tariff on Yoshi Kwan's check? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
God, I don't even know why I said that.
On his raid hat.
Yeah, sure. Jesus Christ.
Now he's Chinese. I've heard you guys refer to him as Chinese and as Japanese, and Jesse refers to him as Chinese here. And I thought at one point that they switched him, like they just decided he was going to be Japanese instead. I'm still confused.
I think he was supposed to be from Shanghai, right?
I don't even remember, but it's terrible.
Yeah,
the sad part is, and I'm broken record time, this dude is a lot better than this.
He looks like a character from remember those fighting like a virtual fighter or
yes,
like Tekken or one of those other fighting games.
It's like a caricature. It's terrible. This dude can work. Why are we making Chris champion?
I guess someone must have been like, "Hey, you could pass it being Asian."
I mean, no, it's terrible. The whole mannerisms, he gets up like he's a kung fu master. It's oh god, I'm tired of talking about it at this point. It's terrible because this is a decent match, and we couldn't give this guy a fair shake. He deserved better than this gimmick. They give him like 10 minutes. There's nothing. I don't think there's anything wrong with it for a Saturday night. I mean, I'm not going to tell you it's pay-per-view worthy, but I don't know, Crockett. What did you think?
Well, what's worse, given Chris Champion the Asian gimmick or Johnny B. Bad the black gimmick?
Well, here's the thing with Johnny B. Bad. They never said he was black.
Yeah.
I've made the argument about that with his gimmick all along. It's like they never said he was black. They never said he was gay. They left it up to your interpretation. With Yoshi Kwan, Harley Race has said multiple times, best Asian wrestler. Like, they didn't leave it up to interpretation.
No.
So I don't think you can compare the two from that point of view.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I actually did get Mark Mero's book. What were you high school with him? Yeah, Mark Mero's book called Bad to Good. I was looking like something in there about how he felt about doing the gimmick, being basically, an
Italian man.
Everyone assuming that he's a black guy, and what his tanny routine was and stuff like that. But nothing of the like in the book. The only thing that really he mentions when it comes to race like that is he told his dad that he was doing Little Richard gimmick in WCW, and he goes, "What, you mean the gay black guy?" That's really the extent of what he talks about in the book.
All because Dusty saw him, and he's that kid looked like Little Richard. So that's the extent of it.
Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah. I don't know.
But Quan, after Fall Brawl, where he just kind of almost got squashed by Cactus, he really doesn't have. I mean, this is before that, as we know, it's taped like a month before, but it was, he's kind of languishing here.
Yeah,
that was rough right there. Do you see that?
That kick? I had that timestamp.
Yeah,
he throws this like back kick. It caught Flair
right in the jaw.
Yeah, in the ear too. But I thought they had a decent match. It just you know it's not going nowhere. So it's like, well, I don't even know how much longer Yoshi Kwan has. To be honest with you, I haven't looked it up, and I don't remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, any other thoughts?
Lots of chops.
Lots of chops.
A lot of chops. Yeah, a lot of chops in this one. I have 53-35 with commentary. There's this spot here where they talk about the clothesline over the top.
All right, here it is.
Now, why isn't that a disqualification?
I can't answer that. I'm not the referee. It has to be the momentum of the clothesline. It was not an intentional dump on the outside.
But you're looking at a guy that threw the momentum in there. That's a very confusing call.
And they're pretty consistent about as well. A reversal. Flair over the top. Flair to the next corner. Quan is dazed. And Flair's there. With a double accent. Oh, the nature of...
I mean, Jesse's not wrong.
Yeah. He's confused with this episode as I am, so.
Yeah. Which, when Bill Watts was here, we had Law and Order.
Yeah, sure
right.
did.
All right.
And racism.
Yes, we had a lot of things. We had Eric Watts getting a push. Flair hooks Yoshi Kwan with a backslide, and Flair pins Kwan, and the crowd absolutely loved it. And, it wasn't a bad match. We could just do better with Yoshi Kwan, and I guess I'll leave it at that. Any other thoughts before we go to this next promo?
No, big pop for the finish.
Yes, sir. All right. So this is what we were talking about last week, and Crockett was talking about related to the title earlier this week. Let's go to Tony Schiavone, who is sitting.
Looks like he's posing for a Sears photo.
He does. He looks like a kid right there, doesn't he? He is interviewing Rick Rude. I can't remember if they said they're at Rick Rude's house or not. But anyway, we'll get to the promo now, and then we'll talk about this on the other side. Here it is.
At Fall Brawl, Ravishing Rick Rude made wrestling history, defeating Ric Flair, winning the gold belt, and becoming the World Heavyweight Champion. Our thanks to Ravishing Rick Rude for letting us in your home. Thanks a lot, Rick.
Well, no problem, Tony. You know, that's one thing I think a world champion should do is leave his life open to the public. Anytime you want to come to my place, you're welcome, as long as you make a phone call in advance.
And we appreciate that, but I want to talk about the World Heavyweight Championship. A lot of controversy. WCW now has made it known they recognize only one World Heavyweight Champion. They recognize Vader, the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. They don't recognize any other organization, any other alliance. And how do you feel about this?
It's par for the course, Tony. From day one, the WCW has been against Ravishing Rick Rude because I beat their superstar. I took Sting down my first day in the organization. They stripped me of my United States title unrightfully due to a neck injury, while Vader was injured for a longer period of time with the rib injury, and they allowed him to retain his world title. WCW has obviously been against Rick Rude. But now, Vader as WCW champion is correct. WCW does have their world champion. And if you go to Japan, you'll find that they have their world champion also. Europe, Asia, Germany, all over the world, each country has their world champion. But Tony, when you open this interview, what did you call me?
The World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion.
This gold belt that I have in my lap, what does it say on it?
It says World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion.
It doesn't say WCW World Champion. It doesn't say Asian World Champion.
No.
It doesn't say German World Champion.
No.
It says World Heavyweight Champion. And everybody in the world knows that Ric Flair was the man. And to be the man, you've got to beat the man. And in Fall Brawl, I did beat the man.
And you certainly look the part. You look quite ravishing, the World Heavyweight Champion, I must say. Let me ask you about Halloween Havoc. It's now been signed, the return match. Ric Flair and Ravishing Rick Rude. Unprecedented in WCW that they would ask for a rematch on the very next pay-per-view, but they have it signed for Halloween Havoc. Flair will be coming after you. Give me your thoughts about this match.
As far as the way I won the previous match, Tony, in Ric Flair's 10 reigns as World Heavyweight Champion, I'm sure if we reviewed the tapes, we'd find a little controversy involved there, too. But Ric Flair said to be the man, you got to beat the man. I did that. But he has another cliche. Being the man and staying the man are two different things. Halloween Havoc is my chance to prove that I'm going to stay the man from now till the end of time.
Last year at Halloween Havoc, Ravishing Rick Rude went after the gold belt. This year, he has the gold belt, and our thanks to the world champion, Rick Rude.
I actually thought Rude was really good right there. I mean, he's basically making it seem like he got screwed and WCW continues to screw him. I thought he was phenomenal. What'd you think, Crockett?
Yeah, it all makes sense. I mean, this is all the stuff he's been saying all along about, especially with the U.S. title stuff too, and it all kind of falls in line with the promos that he's cut in the past. But does Tony work for WCW? He does, doesn't he?
I mean, works for Turner. What are we getting at here?
Yeah, so why he says that WCW no longer recognizes the title, but then he continues. He closes it out by saying the world champion Rick Rude. He talks about the world champion at the beginning. Like, just it's just so confusing. Why Tony? I mean, is it because he's in Rude's presence? He doesn't want to insult him, but he calls him world champion even though he just says that WCW no longer recognizes him as a world champion.
No one knows. I mean, they don't know how to. I feel like they don't know how to talk through this whole WCW NWA thing. Because they still aren't calling it the international world title. That's coming next.
No, now it's the big gold belt.
Yeah. I mean, again, Doc and I talked about this last week. It was just he and I. If you're just a person watching and you don't know the smart fan stuff behind the scenes, whatever Maeve Deltzer and the other, people are who are doing that type of thing back then. If you don't know any of that stuff going on in the background, you don't have a clue why this thing is no longer called the NWA title. NWA World Heavyweight title.
You have no idea.
You have no clue. You're like, what's happening here? I don't. I try to put myself back in this time. Not knowing anything. Like, I don't know if it really confused me as much as I was like, what's happening? Well, I guess it is confusing you, but like, I don't know if I'd have I wasn't stressing over it. Let me say that, because in my eyes, it's still a big gold. Like that didn't change the fact that's still that belt. Whether you want to call it the NWA World Title, WC World Title, whatever you want to call it, you still look at it and go, "Holy shit, that's the belt that Ric Flair brought on WWF TV. That's the one he had in 1986. That's the world title." Like, that's me as a fan. That's what I'm thinking. But maybe maybe we think about it. Sometimes we try to overcomplicate things. I don't know if we're doing that now, but that's kind of how I feel.
I'm trying to remember, how did it get reintroduced?
This belt, when you as the NWA, it got reintroduced.
How did it come back? No, how did it come back into WCW after Flair left with it?
Didn't they have a tournament?
I remember we did the NWA World Tag Title tournament on a Clash.
But
did they do a tournament for the heavyweight title too?
Swore, but now I'm like,
it's just like
somebody out there screaming at us. How the fuck do y'all not remember this?
Yeah.
Look, it's midnight. Crockett's got me up late. Look, that's what's going on here. Okay.
It's just from the get-go, they should have had like unification match and just would have avoided all this horse shit.
Well, they were going. Well, I don't want to give it away. They were trying to go to a unification leading into Starrcade, but there's some stuff that goes down that kind of squashed that. I'll leave it at that. I don't know. Again, if you grew up seeing that belt, you were confused at what the hell was going on. Like, you might have thought, they're not calling the NWA World Title anymore. What the hell's happening? But at the end of the day, you also thought, wait, that is the world title.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most recognizable title in WCW history anyway.
Yeah,
correct.
Exactly. But if you get confused by that, know that you're probably not alone in thinking that. All right. Anything else, Crockett, or you want to keep going?
No, let's do this.
All right. So from there, we go to Lord Steven Regal, who's got Sir William with him, versus Arn Anderson. We got a TV title match here. There are very loud USA chants going for Arn because, boy, those British foreign menaces are really going to take over America in 1993. I'll tell you. I mean,
that's right.
Right.
God, saw that kid's hair?
I saw the kid's hair, yes. What were your thoughts on the kid's hair? I'll stop.
Watch. No. Look at that. Holy shit.
It's a fright wig.
Yeah. That doesn't even look real.
That looks like a female.
That's a kid.
That's what I'm saying. It's a girl, not a boy.
That is not a girl.
That is a girl.
No.
It's a minor girl. It's not a of age person.
We're getting into doc territory here.
But that is a girl. That is a girl.
No, it's not.
That's a girl, Harper.
You see?
Harper, there's no way in hell that is a boy. Look at the hair. Look, it's flowing down her back right there. If you look in the bottom left. Look how long that is. That is a female teenage girl.
Shit. No.
Okay. I'm not going to argue with you. I got to pee and we still got 2 more matches to go. So
look,
we'll continue. Let's get into this one. The first 4 minutes, they work the crowd and they work real slow, Crockett. Regal dominates, grounds Arn, does his thing. It's kind of typical Regal matches, actually, now that I think about it on Saturday night. What were your thoughts on this one?
Well, I mean, there's some news kind of broken that was just kind of thrown out there that I didn't really realize was happening, but I don't know if Doc will enjoy this news or not, because it seemed like he was just getting into them as a team. But Tony says that Paul Roma and Arn were a great team, but only for a short time. So I guess Arn and Roma are no longer a thing.
That sucks.
Just as Doc was coming around on Paul Roma.
Doc's irrational hatred for Paul Roma is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just
like,
because he had a stigma coming in from WWF in the position he was.
All because they made him a horseman.
Yeah,
the dude he's a really good wrestler. His promos aren't bad, and all I ever hear from Doc is, "Oh, he sucks." No, he don't. You just mad because they made him a horseman. That's two different things.
That's right.
Yeah. It'd be like if they brought Harper in to be a horseman. It's like, wait, he's not a horseman. I mean, but he's still good.
Yeah, right.
Anyway.
I'm a horseman.
Sure. You and Randy.
That's right.
At Kenny's Key West, oiling up the wrestling broads with your LOD shirts on, holding up the 4 horsemen sign. God, what I would do to see those pictures. Hey, Crockett, did you see that picture he posted in the Facebook group with him and Randy with the
yes,
with the LOD paint on? Going
paint,
on a Nitro?
Yeah.
Boy, if that wasn't 2 slap dicks.
Was that at your Nitro party?
They were going.
That's nice.
Were y'all going to Nitro or
Nitro
Raw?
party?
What were y'all doing?
We're going to Nitro.
Jesus
it was in the
Christ.
Dome.
I remember that Nitro at the Dome.
Yeah.
That was the one Master P was at?
I don't remember.
You say,
when they did that stupid angle with them and yeah. Anyway, okay. We'll keep going.
Swole.
What? Yeah. No, not that Big Swole. Not that he was stupid. That they did an angle, I think, where it was like one of the, if it was Master P or Silk the Shocker, somebody sent Kevin Nash over the top rope through a table or something. That's what I'm thinking about. I thought it was at the Dome, but you know. All right, back to the match. Regal and Arn. Lots of chain wrestling. Typical Saturday night match with Regal. What were your thoughts, Crockett?
I thought it was a great classic wrestling match where the babyface is outworking the heel at every turn. The heel gets back over on him and then, falters and the babyface takes back over. And, you got 2 perfect guys for those 2 roles in this match. It was really well wrestled at 104.50. I thought it was a great sequence that kind of displays that.
Yeah.
So Arn has a full Nelson here. Regal gets out, pushes him off.
Damn, there you go.
Excellent bump in that elbow.
I truly feel like when I watch a match like this with these two, this was I'll start calling this like the Regal Saturday Night Special. Because I feel like I don't know. I feel like I have memories of Regal on Saturday night having these kind of matches. And I know it wasn't every week, but, I know he was on Nitro, but it just a really crisp, clean match, getting his stuff in, doing his thing. Very deserving of the TV title for sure. Just knows what he's doing.
Also, Jesse name drops Mean Gene. During the match, Mean Gene's on his way in. I think he starts in November. So,
yeah, I got some trivia when we get to it that is gonna blow Doc's mind.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna be like, dude, no way. So I'm trying to hold it until then. It's not easy.
Mean Gene's 29. Is that what you're gonna say?
No, he's not 29.
Okay.
Definitely not 29. Definitely not 29. Anything else, Crockett? Like I said, I don't want to go hold for hold in this thing. They have a solid wrestling match.
Yeah, and they get over by cheating. The umbrella shot from Dundee on the outside, and yeah, Arn builds a comeback, and then we get to the finish.
Yeah, so
great.
You saw that, Harper?
Yeah,
that took some strength. Arn hits the spine buster with just a few seconds left to go, but when he goes to make the cover for the pin, time has expired. So Regal retains thanks to the 15-minute time limit draw. Arn ain't happy, and he pops the hell out of Sir William out of anger, and we go to commercial. Boy, Dundee looks short right there. My God, he looks like half pint in the ring, but Arn is not happy with him, and he lets Sir William have it, lays him out, raises his hands. Good stuff, though. Solid match. What'd you say?
By the way, Doc talks about what's the point of Dundee being there? I believe they have a booking committee at this point, and Dundee is on the booking committee. So I think that's the main reason he's there, and this is just kind of a little extra bonus, him being a manager out there. But I think his main gig is on the booking committee at WCW.
What were you saying, Harper, before Crockett mentioned that?
It's nice to see Art represent America. Because if it wasn't because if the British would have won that war, I mean, we could all be speaking English right now. I mean, you ever think about that?
They were chanting USA at him.
Oh, boy. No taxation without representation, pal. Oh, my God. We're going to start a BTT history show one of these days and piss the whole world off. When Harper can't help himself from pissing everybody off. Oh, man. I told you I have a brilliant idea. It can't be on this feed. It'll be on a separate feed. Just read Harper news stories about what's going on in the world. You might mine some gold, some of those stories, and other ones, it will turn into a whole outlaw mud show production. Oh, boy. Well, it's time for the main event for October the 9th. Ricky Steamboat taking on Big Van Vader. We go to commercial and we come right back. Steamboat has Race in the ring and he suplexes him and then puts him in a figure four. Puts Race in the figure four, only for Vader to come in and splash Steamboat. And Jesse, I'm not going to play the commentary, says, what a dumb move by Steamboat. And you know what? He's not wrong. You suplexed him and then put him in a figure four and you got a monster on the outside ready to just annihilate you. I thought Jesse was on it. Crockett, thoughts?
Oh, Jesse's always on it.
He is.
Yeah.
Jesse has.
He points out the obvious.
Yeah.
Somehow
he never
that
wants
made
to
him
look
a heel.
stupid, so he'll always call something out.
Yeah.
By the way, you said Big Van Vader. They just call him Vader. His on-screen graphic just says Vader. I think at this time there was issues with Vader in New Japan. So
I noticed when we watched the
pay-per-view.
It was the pay-per-view, Mike.
Yeah, it was when Mick Foley kept saying his name.
Yeah, they kept bleeping it out.
Yeah, it was when Foley. Would you go to high school with him? It was when Foley kept saying Big Van Vader, and Harper noticed they were like silencing it out so that only Vader came through. But yeah, so yeah, it's a good point.
I don't understand why they can't have Vader. You think George Lucas would have Vader copyrighted?
Maybe he wasn't paying attention. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the legalities there, but yeah,
I never heard the term Vader until Star Wars, right?
Yeah, but he was Darth Vader, so maybe that's why. I don't know.
Oh, Mike, you sound like some dorks.
Okay, I mean, I'm not an attorney. I'm just
Star
saying.
Wars geek.
Yeah.
Would you like the Ewoks too?
Did I like
the
the Ewoks?
Ewoks get a bad rap.
Do they?
I think they do. I loved the Ewoks when I was a kid. I still got my little stuffed one from I got for Christmas of '83.
I think we
still have it.
I think anybody our age loved them.
Yeah,
because it was like a cool, like you were like, holy shit, you know, they were Return of the Jedi, the Ewoks. Yeah.
You know, that was supposed to be the original plan. Was they were going to go to Chewbacca's people.
Yes.
Want to be living there.
Yeah.
But the problem is that they're like in the Stone Age. So how do you explain if they're in the Stone Age with these spears and Chewbacca's flying a fucking spaceship? It doesn't make sense. And so that's when they threw the Ewoks in.
I thought I read a story too at one point that Chewbacca was actually not supposed to be Chewbacca. He was supposed to be an Ewok. Like the original before they made it.
Really?
Man, I swear now I might be misremembering it. But like
fucking D-Man. Let's call it D-Man. He'll know this virgin shit.
Jesus Christ.
Patch him in.
D-Man. Darren, get him on the show. Well, bro, hold on, bro. here's the thing,
What the
bro.
fucking Ewoks, dude?
We're talking about the Ewoks and Chewbacca. So here's the thing, bro. And look, I done read all this stuff. You can make fun of me all you want. I know, haha, funny. Bunch of fucking douchebags out there want to fucking make fun of me and shit. You know, it's what y'all do, bro. Anyway, you know, yeah, Mike's right. Chewbacca, they just kind of did that for TV, for the movie. But in reality, he was supposed to be the size of an Ewok, but it didn't look good on the TV. And George Lucas changed it. You know what I'm saying, bro? You went to high school with him, D-Man?
Well, I'm gonna speak honest, bro. The only reason they put the Ewoks in there was to sell toys and freaking lunch boxes, bro.
To me.
Oh boy. Yeah, Jesus. Okay. Where were we at? Back to the match. Vader. We're talking about Vader's name. Anyway, I did have a timestamp at 1:20:10. We already watched it. If you're watching the video version, Vader drops Steamboat on the barricade.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, he takes it fantastic. Yeah.
He really did. He picked him up high, and then Steamboat drops down on it. Looks really good.
Whiplash effect, yeah.
Yeah, it looked good. I had another one at 1:24. Steamboat suplexes Vader, followed by belly to belly, but Vader kicks out. You know, just Steamboat, not a huge guy, but just showing off some power, being able to do that to Vader.
Yeah.
There were some pretty nice bumps in this. The crowd was into it. I mean, Steamboat's former world champion, so good stuff. But anyway, I may have moved too far ahead. Did you have anything else, Crockett?
No, we can go to 125.10, which I just wrote what the hell, so I'm not sure what we're going to look at here.
Oh, you pulling a doc here.
Oh, yeah. Why does he do this?
The barricade?
Yeah.
Steamboat unhooked the barricade and then just kind of like charged with it into Vader. I guess that would hurt. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem to call for that, though. It just seems like it was kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, I agree. Weird. But yeah, you just did a doc. Right, I got 1:20:10 written down. Okay, what are we looking for? I don't remember, and I can't read my handwriting.
Oh, and speaking of doc, we get another. Just keep it rolling here to 125.55 of Doc asking about the female in the audience.
Oh,
let's
see what we're gonna see here. Oh yeah. The one on the right is definitely a plant.
The one on her, she's cute.
That's what I'm saying.
And Tony on commentary says, "Hello there."
Yeah.
Tony's married. He better chill out. You don't want to piss Lois off. Yeah. Yeah, one on the right. That's a Harper special right there.
Oh, yeah. That's the kind of girl that would have me just staying up at night, just like thinking, oh.
Looking for her in the daytime with a flashlight, huh?
Yeah, only if I was cool enough.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, we will go to the finish of this match if you don't have anything else, Crockett.
No, just a weird ref bump. There it is.
I was going to say the same thing. Steamboat shoots Vader off, and Nick Patrick takes a really weird ref bump that looks completely unnatural.
Yeah. There he goes. He's rolling.
Which leads, yeah, it's very terrible. I don't know how else to describe it. It looks completely unnatural. I'm sure Crockett did that a time or two in his career. Nick Patrick looks like he got shot with a 12 gauge outside the ring and tased at the same time as he's on his belly. I don't know. It just looked really weird. Harley Race then interferes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It looked like it was supposed to be like one of those deals where the babyface ducks and the ref gets hit, but Ricky didn't duck, so he gets hit, and then Vader just kind of hits the ref too. And Jesse had to be like, "Did he hit him on purpose?" And Tony's like, "I don't know."
Yeah,
trying to cover for it.
Completely unnatural. But Harley Race interferes. Go ahead.
Those shoes that Nick Patrick is wearing are so distracted. I think those are Reeboks at that time.
They're not Ruse?
No. I think they're Reeboks, or they're back when like Feli was real big.
Wait, are they McGregor?
No.
Okay.
They're tennis shoes. I can't tell if
I
they're
think they're
Reeboks or not.
Reeboks, dude.
Yeah.
I think those are like the one Shaq wore.
Shaq had those hypnotized ones or whatever, but those aren't those. But I do see what you're talking about. They are very
It's so distracted.
Flashy.
Little much.
Yeah.
flashy for its time. Crockett used to wear them all the time when he was reffing.
No. Solid black, brother.
All right, so again, race interferes. Steamboat holds his own, though, slams race, but Yoshi Kwan comes in the ring. Now they're teaming up on Steamboat. They hold Steamboat down while Vader is about to splash Steamboat, and which Cactus comes out of nowhere with a shovel and just potatoes Vader. It ends up in a DQ. Vader loses, and we're out of time, and that is how we go off air. So no resolution, obviously no type of title change or anything, but it was what it was. It serves its purpose as a main event that you could look forward to. And like I said, if you're tuning in to free TV and you see Vader and Steamboat, I would venture to say there's Cactus with the shovel to the back of Vader. I would venture to say you were very, very happy with what you saw on this week's episode of Saturday Night.
Oh, yeah, this was good.
Yeah, it was. So any closing thoughts on the match, Crockett or Harper, before I go and we rate it and hand out the Toot Toot Award and Rolex?
No, it was a good match. Ricky, sold very well. I think we talked about that. Vader did his shit, and you weren't getting a new champion here, and they kind of had a Cactus come out to remind you that the big main event's coming to Halloween Havoc.
Ricky, you go to high school with him?
Oh yeah.
All right. Yep, agree. Any closing thoughts from you, Harper?
No.
So on that note, we're going to rate it and hand out the Toot Toot Award. Before we do so, a quick reminder, the only way you can listen to our review of Halloween Havoc 93 is by going to tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. That's tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. If you sign up for an annual plan during our birthday month of May, you will get 2 months for free. So don't forget that. That is tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Not only will you get this pay-per-view, you'll get all the clashes we've done prior to this. You'll get all the pay-per-views we've done prior to this through 1993, plus the JV Goon Squad shows and the world-class cast with Lance and myself. Again, that's at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Let's rate it, hand out the Toot Toot Award. Let's go to you first, Crockett. What are you going to rate this one?
No, Harper's
that's
the new
right.
number one man.
It's the new thing. Harper,
he's
you
leading
rate
off, always.
I'll give this a B.
Oh, wow. I thought you'd give it something higher.
Well, I can't give it an A. Maybe
Right.
a B plus.
Too long. We've been on the phone 2 hours, so too long. I got you.
Oh, fuck off.
Oh. Crockett, what are you going to rate it?
Yeah, it would have been a B plus, but as you said, 2 hour show and a lot of confusing world title nonsense. So let's mark it down to a B.
I'm gonna go B plus. I mean, it's a hell of a lineup. I'm not gonna sit there and tell you it's 16-star matches, but Steamboat, Vader, Regal, Arn, Yoshi Kwan, Flair. You had the Nasty Boys. I mean, there was good matches in there. Steve Austin cut a decent promo. There's good stuff. So I'll give it a B plus. It was just a little long, but we got spoiled with the 40-minute episodes the last few weeks. So, all right. Which means we need to give out the Toot Toot and Rolex. Harper, who are you giving yours to?
I'm giving mine to Steamboat, man.
All right.
For this match here.
I'm giving mine to Booker T. Hit the spinarooni for the first time. What?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Ain't no Jesus Christ. Don't call him. He can't help you here.
That's nice.
Find a little diversity in this bitch,
That's right.
All right.
If Harper can talk about tariffs, I can talk about diversity.
Yeah. And it's Jackie Robinson Day.
Exactly.
So it's perfect.
Exactly. What's that? What is that Tiffany tells you? Whenever Harper triggers his own girlfriend, he just likes yelling out Reaganomics and it triggers her. And she goes, exactly.
Reaganomics.
Or something else. He just loves triggering her. She goes, exactly. She thinks he's being serious and he's every time. Anyway, all right.
Reaganomics.
It's Jackie Robinson Day. You're damn right. That was a great movie.
That's right.
Anyway, okay, Crockett, we'll go to you. I gave mine to
That
Booker
really
T.
happened, Mike.
What?
Come on.
Well, no, I know it really happened. I'm just saying. Very well put together. Go ahead, Crockett.
Well, I mean, not to give it to a couple of white guys, but I'll give it to Arn and Regal. I really enjoyed that match.
Of course you did.
It's just everything the wrestling was and should be.
It was, but they didn't do a spinarooni.
I'll give you that.
Okay. On that note, before we get out of here, Crockett, you think you can plug the phone number again one more time before we close out the show to remind the listeners out there to leave their 60-second or less voicemail praising us on 10 years of doing this show and all the good memories they have of the show?
Yeah, let these guys know what you think of them. Give them their flowers. The number 330-822-4288. That is 330-822-4BTT. As Mike said, 60 seconds or less. Tell them what you think of them. Share your favorite memory from the podcast. Do whatever you got to do, but do it under a minute.
That's right. That's right. And on that note, thanks again for listening. Don't forget to share the show on Facebook, repost on Twitter, Blue Sky, whatever platforms you're on. It really does help the show. I'm not paying for no damn blue check on Facebook or Twitter. So when you repost, it's organic and not pay to play. So thank you very much if you're one of those people who always repost, retweet the show whenever you see it on social media. It does help the show grow. And it is very much thankful. On that note, Harper, why don't you? It's midnight. It's time for us to go to bed. Why don't you hit the tagline and let's roll?
Book it, biatch.
This is A.I. Eric Bischoff. No, I am not the real Bischoff. So don't work yourself into a shoot like these useful idiots in the wrestling media field. With that said, congratulations on making it to the end of this week's show. Don't forget to send your comments about what the guys discussed tonight to Luke Hawks on Facebook and on Twitter or X or whatever the piss they call it now. The rumor is Luke likes answering BTT fan mail. Also do the guys a solid by liking the show's Facebook, X, and Instagram pages. And don't forget to like and retweet or repost the show on all social media platforms. Lastly, become a BTT patron member where you get tons of extra shows. You can join at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Until next week, piss off dipshits. How the piss do you people listen to these useful idiots? These dipshits think they're fucking funny, but they ain't fucking funny. And somebody needs to tell them that. This goddamn show needs more D-Man and less of dipshit, Doc, hard-boiled Harper, and this vanilla ice Snoop Dogg, mumble, mouth, Mills. You have to be an imbecile to find these three fuckers entertaining. Fucking clown show.